All right, here we go, you guys. It's round 18 for the United States Grand Prix. If I won the United States Grand Prix last year, or is it somebody else?
It's time for today's qualifying session to begin here in the United States. Welcome to the Circuit of the Americas. With the weather as it is today, Anthony Davidson, we have, to some extent, to throw the form book out of the window. Who do you see having the advantage on this slippery, unpredictable track surface?
Traditionally, these are very Adrian Newey conditions. The Red Bull's habit of creating incredible downforce coupled with the high rake they like to run is perfect for the wet, and it's helped them close the power gap a number of times over recent years. I think Force India as well, always a bit of a dark horse in changeable conditions, and of course the McLarens are a fairly good chassis. Having said that, I don't want to make a firm prediction. More than performance, the deciding factor is going to be the timing. The level of wetness out on the track is going to constantly rise and fall, and anyone who can find that perfect window when it's at its driest will have a big advantage out there.
Because we lost a cluster of points last time the Japanese Grand Prix. Stupid cord, go get up my way.
Okay, that's pretty disappointing, but we can turn it around tomorrow.
grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are Ricciardo, Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event.
A tight battle between me and Ricciardo for the rest of the season.
Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
I feel like it's going to be between me, Ricciardo, Vettel, and Vettel. If Lewis touches 75 points, his championship season is over. His championship fight's over. Let me say that.
Bad luck in qualifying. That's not exactly ideal. But there's no points for Saturday. Keep a cool head and make up for it in the race.
I'm gonna try. Merchandise. Mechanics have done everything they can up to this point. Now it's up to you to drive the wheels off and bring it home a good result. P.S. Tell you what, lap the field and I'll drive you a pizza, okay? Okay, the pizza's on, I guess the pizza's on him, I guess. Even though he's kind of wearing a McLaren shirt in the picture. He's wearing a McLaren shirt.
In 2012, America's on-again, off-again love affair with Formula One finally seemed to settle down with the completion of this wonderful racing facility here in Texas. So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position today, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Bottas, a Red Bull, and Alonso, Magnussen, Grosjean, Leclerc, and Sergio Perez, Hülkenberg, Sainz, Esteban Ocon, and Raikkonen, Ericsson, Hartley, Pierre Gasly, and Stoffel van Dorn. Stroll and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
I will not take unnecessary risks. I'm going to take it nice and easy.
Stand will be second in the championship. Alonso ahead. Start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. Nice work, that brings you up the place.
Coming for you, Lewis.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power. Hamilton is behind you. They're on fresh ultra softs. Their tyres are 1 lap old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 39.2. Let's use some of this energy. Increase the ERS deployment. Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled. That's Daniel ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 3.6 seconds. You're losing 3 seconds a lap. They're on fresh ultra softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:37.2. As things stand, we'll be second in the championship. Engine is looking a little worn. Power output will be less than optimal. Daniel is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 3.5 seconds. You're losing around 1.6 seconds. They're on old ultra softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 37.5. That's Daniel ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 3.5 seconds. You're losing around 1.6 seconds. They're on old ultra softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:37.5. Okay, we can take you this lap. tyres, 3.2 seconds. Falling back by around 1.2 seconds a lap. They're on old Ultra Softs. Their tyres are 4 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute
lap
37.6.
which is right now.
Complete, go now. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Easy on Hartley. Marcus said, actually, this guy gave me trouble in practice. When I was trying to do the qualifying program.
Battery charge is high. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace.
Uh-oh, somebody's off it. Don't tell me it's up. No, not Seb.
Green flag.
Here's Erickson. Okay. Ocon, I'm not Verstappen, okay? Nicholas Carlos had a tough break at Japan last episode. Daniel's in the pit.
Daniel's in for his stop.
Carlos. Ran too wide the corner again.
That's Daniel ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 2.8 seconds. They're on fresh super softs. Daniel is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 2.6 seconds. They're on fresh super softs. Their tyres are 1 lap old. The time last lap was a 1:55.6. Repeat that. There's interference. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Daniel sat in P1 at the moment. Gap to teammate ahead is 2.7 seconds. They're on fresh super softs. The time last lap was a 1:55.6. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Almost lost the back end. Gonna be 1 point difference for first and second now.
That's Daniel ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 3.5 seconds. They're on fresh super softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:37.1.
I'm not gonna catch a car, am I?
Daniel is ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 3.4 seconds. They're on fresh super softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:37.3.
We're pulling away from Lewis. I know that for a fact.
were about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon.
Yep, we're not going to catch Ricardo. I think that place is his best as we're going to get to the Dakota.
Hamilton behind. The gap to the car behind is 4.9 seconds. They're on old super softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:38.1. Hamilton is behind you. Our gap behind is 4.9 seconds. They're on old super softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:38.1. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Oh, yep, it's over now. I'm not going to catch Ricardo now.
That's Daniel ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 2.1 seconds. You're dropping back by around 0.2 each lap. They're on old super softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:37.4.
And now we're going to try it. Nope, not going to catch them. I think
This
I'm
is
just...
your final lap of the race. Right, some information on Grosjean. They seem to have an issue.
There might have been our chance right there.
Daniel is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 2.8 seconds. We're gaining by around 0.2 per lap.
Nope,
They're
not
on
gonna happen now.
super softs. Their tyres are 6 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:37.2.
Catching them, but I think it's going to be a little too late. Yep, too late. Ricardo's going to get the checkered flag here at Coda. Yep, that was all I had. I think he used the tires up a little too much. Ricardo wins. We're going to come home with a second place finish. That's better than Japan.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a good finish. Well done.
So another fantastic victory for Red Bull today. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
So here come our winning drivers today, and what a race it was. There's been a big push at the factory lately to get these cars ready, and we can see the fruits of that labour today as Red Bull lift the winner's trophy. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Daniel Ricciardo takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I think it's got to be Kimi Raikkonen. He's not always spectacular, but he quietly gets the job done. And that's the case today.
On to the Constructors then. And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull. After a long and hard-fought season, they built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
So Ricciardo wins the United States Grand Prix. We finished second, Hamilton third. Good redemption from Japan. Bottas in fourth. Sebastian Vettel fifth. Ricciardo, Perez, Hulkenberg, Kimi Raikkonen, and Kevin Magnussen in 10th place. The Drivers' Championship, it's 1 point between me and Ricciardo. And then we got Constructors. We clinched the Constructors, I believe. 140 points there. But the Drivers' Championship isn't done. Oh, I'm not done with the Drivers' Championship. I'm going to go and get it.
Great work out there today. How do you think it went? You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? Another podium. You must be getting used to it up there. That was an epic battle today. How do you think this will play out? You're no longer in the top spot. Are you hoping to regain it? Appreciate your time.
I'll try to regain the top spot, but it's going to be a lot of work. And I drove my absolute
That's a great
rear
result.
end
You
off.
did really well. I don't think we can have any complaints with that performance.
So the team are happy that you hit your last goal. That's going to help out with car development, and it'll weigh in your favor the next time we have a contract review.
That's going to help me big time. 2,053 points. I'm not going to... Honestly, major upgrades is what it can be, pretty much can do right now. I mean, I guess we could do 2 minors. But then I would have to save the resource points to fix those upgrades.
I know we were expecting some new developments this weekend, but some of them have failed quality control. Make sure you indicate what you'd like redeveloped via the workstation.
Got the 2 upgrades fixed. Well, so I fixed the one on the right, on the top left, but then I'm going to fix this one right here. Hopefully Brazil, we can fix that upgrade. Well, so we're pretty much gonna just go ahead and try to show what we got. 50, 64, 35. Right side 58. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.